So hi guys, in last video we have seen compile time polymorphism. In this video also we'll see a small part of compile time polymorphism, and then we'll go for the runtime polymorphism. So compile time polymorphism means if we are writing, we are calling some function. So while compiling of this program only will be decided ki which function is being called. So this is compile time, and this concept is called method overloading. In last video I've told this. Similar way, if we'll go in our class 1, there is concept called operator overloading. So usually in Java, operator overloading is not supported, but exceptions will be always there. So plus operator is only one operator in Java that is overloaded. We can't create our own operator overloading concept, but this operator is already overloaded in Java. So suppose we are trying to call 1 plus 2. Once we will compile, that time only it will be decided कि okay, you are going to call plus operator with two integer. So it will act as a addition of two integer. But when any of these two parameter, it will create as a string. So that time it will act as a concatenation. Means operator is same only, but according to parameter that we are means basically incorporating this parameter whatever we are using with this operator. So according to parameter, same operator is being acted different in different scenario, means according to this data. So this concept is called operator overloading, and this is also an example of compile time polymorphism. So compile time polymorphism is done. Now let's go with runtime polymorphism. So for runtime polymorphism we need to write some codes like yeah. So this is one class that have one method, that is show method, and this is child class extending the parent one, and this one also having the same method. If you will see the signature of this method, return type of both method is void, function name is show, and both method is not accepting any parameter. So this concept is not overloading, because in overloading this one needs to be different, either number of parameter, sequence of parameter, or return type. So this is not the overloading. So if we'll try to create one object of polymorphism, and we'll try to run this, it will run child1. Simply we are creating the object of this class and calling the show method. So this class have show method, it's working fine. Even we'll change the name of this function like show1, but as of now it will keep working, there is no problem. So This is simple calling. Till now we are not basically explaining about the runtime polymorphism. This is simple basically simple method calling. So I will in later one of any video I will show you how function is being called internally. But if we'll see now, what we will do, data type will be child1, variable name can be anything, but the object no, make it opposite. So data type will be parent1 and object we are creating child1. So we are creating object of this class and storing inside this one, and now I'm calling this show function, show method or show function, whatever. So don't confuse function and method, because in C it's being called as a method and in Java it's called as a function. So both are same only. Now let's try to execute it. So child. So now also it's calling child1, but if you will see, last time we have changed this function name. Let's change once again. What happened? This showing error. What is the error? It's saying method show is undefined for the type parameter. Why we are getting this error? Let's see. So what we are doing basically, in first class there is one class that has function name show. As of now it's a show one, and one is child class that is extending to this one. So this function will be available inside this class, and this class also have one method. So even this is show one and this is show, this concept is not called overloading. Overloading will happen only in a single class, not in the multiple class. So both are separate class. But this, if we will remove this concept, so this concept will means we can say this concept is called method overriding, not loading, riding, because this one is same method and this one is also same method. Difference, what is difference? Just logic of this method. Here we are printing show parent, here we are printing show child. But what happening, if we are renaming this function, why we are getting this error? So let's try to understand these two lines of code. What we are doing, we are creating one object of polymorphism, that is child1, and storing inside the parent1. So when object will be created, as of now this is Java class, we will compile it. So while compile time it won't create the object. So while till compiling, it's saying कि you want to call show method from P and P of type parent. So as of now our program is not running, it's just compiled only, and you want to call show method from P, that is a parent type, but inside parent type there is no method of show. So how can you call? I know कि while run time we will assign you object of this class, and this class have one show method, so you have to call this one. But compiler don't know कि while run time you will assign which object, either child object or which object. So that's why once we will run it, while compiling it's deciding कि okay, you are trying to call p.show method, and p.show method should be inside this parent class. So let's say okay, now it's there, show method is there in the. So compile time it's saying कि this I have to call this function. Just our file is just compiled, no more. So it's saying कि okay, this parent class is there, so this is the parent class and I have to call parent type p and dot show. So this function I have to call. But by runtime, when we run this file, this will get object of this class. So while runtime it will say कि okay, while compile time compiler was thinking कि okay, I have to call this function, but runtime once it will be, this line will be executed, then this P will have object of this class, and runtime it will say कि okay, my object is of type polymorphism, so I have to call show method from polymorphism class. So that while runtime it will call this function, while compile time it's saying ki I have to call this function, but while runtime it got decided according to the object type, it's saying ki I have to call this function. So this concept, which function is being called, that is being decided at runtime. So that's why this concept is called runtime polymorphism. It means compile time you can't decide which function is going to be called. Once that program will be run, executed, that time only it will decide which function they have to call. So that's why this is called runtime polymorphism. And this concept, we are creating one class, another class. This class is usually called parent class, and this is child class extending the parent class. Don't go with the name parent class. Even if I will name it as a also. So this is called parent class because this is being extended by polymorphism. So polymorphism is a child class. So that's why if you change the function name here, it will throw error. Reason, compiler is saying कि I need show function because p you are calling p dot show. So p is a type of a. So I have to call show function that should be inside a class, but there is no show function. So that's why it's throwing error कि method show is undefined for type a. I need show function. You don't know कि runtime what object you will assign. That compiler don't know. You will simply say you are trying to call show function from reference a type, so that function should be there. Runtime it will be changed. So once the function will be there, everything is done. Even it's not going to call, but compiler will be happy yeah you want to call show function, and show function is available inside the function. So I'm satisfied now okay I have to call this function. If you runtime, if you will give another object, that will be called. Suppose I created object of a. So this scenario, it's been clear okay type of a, this p is also type of a and object also coming as a. So this one is going to be print parent one. Okay, one more thing, there is concept called constructor chaining. So I hope you guys are aware about this thing, but still just let me explore that thing. Constructor chaining, first of all, constructor chaining is not a part of OOPS concept, but still this is the when you are using inheritance, you are implementing the inheritance, you should be aware about the constructor chaining. Then only you can implement inheritance in better way, because you have to find out okay how constructor is being called. So firstly let's create a constructor. So both one have constructor. This one is I'm printing here child constructor, and this one will print parent constructor. So till now there is no problem. This constructor will call and that's it. Just try to run this code. Firstly it got called parent constructor, then child constructor, then show child. So what happening actually, when we are calling this constructor, first line of this constructor will call super one because we are extending this. So first line it will call like this, super. So automatically this super will call super as constructor, default constructor of super class, that is a. So it came here and then it will went to object class, because object class is the parent of every class of if we have implemented the inheritance like this inheritance concept, then object is the super class of every class. Like either for this class or this class, object will be inherited, object class will be automatically inherited, even you are not written the code to inherit the object class, but still it will be inherited. So how it will come? Firstly, this whenever we'll call this new of this constructor, it will come here. First line of this constructor will call parent, it will come here, and then first line of this constructor will call, try to check, okay, is it going to extend some other class? No. Then automatically it will call first line of this will call object, and that object, once the object constructor will be complete its execution, then it will come to the second line, it will print, third line is not there, so it will come back return here. So first line is now completed, now it will execute the second one, and there is no third line, so it will complete this execution, and then it will come to okay, you got the object, now that object will be assigned. So this is the constructor chaining. One more concept, if in interview someone will ask about the constructor chaining, so they are very much interested about this concept. Now what will happen? So it will throw error. So now what will happen? In the last logic whatever I have explained, if we will see, firstly it will call this constructor, it will come here, first line of this constructor, not second line, first line only, because if you will try to write this super inside second line, it will throw error. Reason, it will say ki you are going to call super class, but before calling you might have initialized this class, you have written some logic in this constructor, and you have executed that logic, and then you are trying to call parent one. So that's why it's throwing error ki no, I won't execute any logic until my parent constructor won't be executed, because if we are extending some features, some of the initialization will happen with parent class, and once that initialization will completed, then that initialization will be used in the child one. So that's why this should be first line of the constructor. So first line of constructor will call super, this will come here, this one, first line of this will call of this is implementing interface. So what will happen? This line, first line of this will call constructor of this one or constructor of object. So this is basically in interview they wants to know ki, what you know about the interface. So what will happen? First line of this a constructor will call object, because interface doesn't have constructor. You can't create constructor inside interface, because constructor, what is the use of constructor? Constructor is being used to initialize the variables, initialize the parameter. So if you try to write constructor, it will throw error key, interface cannot have constructor, interface can't have constructor, because interface itself is saying ki it can't be initialized, means you can't create the object of interface. So why do you need this constructor? So that's why if you write the constructor inside interface, this will throw error. If you are not writing, that's okay. So now what will happen? First line this will call object, and then the same process will happen that in the previous one it will I have explained. It will complete the object class constructor execution, then it will come here, it will complete this one, then it will come to this one, and then it will be initialized to this one. One more thing, if you are interested, then I will say ki you are aware about abstract class. What is abstract class? So let's write one class. This is okay, but a strange things is this is the strange one. In interface we can't write the constructor, but in abstract class we can write the constructor. But what will happen if we'll try to initialize the abstract class? Let's try. So I'm just disconnect. Okay, not no need to disconnect. Just comment the 2 lines of code, and I'm printing something here. Let's print it. Parent class. So we'll create object of this. Oh sorry, this should be capital. What is the error? We have written the constructor, but we can't. What is this? Yeah. So we have written the constructor, but we can't initialize the constructor. It's saying cannot initialize the type of parent. Reason? Abstract class you can't initialize. If you will try to create object of abstract class, you will get the same error. This error. Why? We have written here constructor. So constructor is used to initialize the object, but of course create the object only. So if we are not, if we can't create the object of this class, why Java is allowing us to write the program this constructor here, and why we are writing this? So what you can do, you can call this constructor from child of this class. What does it mean? You can call this constructor. So call this constructor means not like this by initializing the object. Call this constructor means you can call the constructor from constructor of child class. So this is parent one. Currently it's not implemented anywhere. So yeah. So now A class is extending the parent one, and inside A it will call super with no error. Now this super will call this constructor, and then this constructor will call object. Let's try to run. Let's see. Firstly it's saying this one got executed parent abstract class. It means this constructor is being executed. Then parent constructor, it means this one got executed, then child one. So now what is the sequence? We called this constructor. First line of this constructor is calling parent one super. So this one got called. First line of this constructor is calling super. So this one got called, and first line of this call automatically, even you will write or not, that doesn't matter. Automatically it will call object. Then object will complete its execution. Then this will complete its execution. Then this will complete its execution, and so on. So why we are writing this code? Basically, purpose of writing the constructor is initialize the variable. So in abstract class, you can have variable like so in abstract class you can have the variable, and constructor is being used to initialize the variable. So that's why saying ki you can't create the object of this class, but you can write your constructor, write down the code to initialize your variable like this one. By writing the parameter, if you need some parameter pass like constructor parameterized constructor, you can implement the parameterized constructor you can initialize the variable that will be used for this class. So that's why Java allowing us to write the constructor inside abstract class, but you even in interface even you can't write the abstract this constructor. Purpose of writing this constructor is very much clear कि just to initialize the variable we can write the constructor inside abstract class, but you can't create the object of this class by using this constructor. So this constructor, you can write the constructor in abstract class, and that constructor is being called from constructor of its child class. Means constructor of its child one is a, and you can call it from super only. Even you will try to call from outside of this constructor, it won't call, it will throw error. So this is the concept of constructor chaining, how it's work. And I hope you are aware of what is this runtime polymorphism, because if you are very much clear about the difference between compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism, and you are aware about the why this is called compile time polymorphism and why this is called runtime polymorphism, so then you can explain and you can basically satisfy interviewer ki what is polymorphism actually means. So that's it for this one. This one is getting error because this is parameterized. I made it, and so that's it for this one guys. In next video hopefully we will see interface and type of interface, and why we are implementing, and what are the restriction with interface, and why are that restriction. So that we'll see in interface. In the current video we are just closing. Thank you guys.